fans, so we just having fun, man.
Little saying say like to ain't no thing like a chicken wing.
There you go.
Yeah, so
Okay.
alright, I
What's
suppose
up, dudes? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the 8th podcast, the Saigon Cafe.
Alright, and let's just adjust.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry.
You got me. Yeah, gotta get my good side, you
There
know.
you go. There you go. So, how you been, man?
Alright, so it's been a long time since you and I have seen. Yes, you've invited me to the digital music fort, you know what I mean, out here.
We got some
And
guitars today.
yeah, so I've had 2 invites, but this one I've actually finally managed to make it. My name's Dale van der Merwe. I come from just affectionately known as Dale. You know, a lot of other weird nicknames. Some of the guys call me Tarzan, as I am a South African. You know what I mean? They get a weird nickname, Tarzan, for some reason.
That's a cool nickname.
And yeah, man, it's just a pleasure to come out, come meet with you. You know, let's talk about playing guitars, playing
Yeah,
music,
yeah,
and putting music together, styles, and I think one of our best topics to hit on is the metal style. How we can, as we both like our little bit of a harder option, we want to It's a saying for a reason. You rock out, you know. You wanna, because you wanna rock and roll. You wanna rock out. So
I want to talk about that too. I want to talk about the idea of rock.
So when we do a little bit of music talk and that, we'll talk about we'll get into we'll get into all of that. You know, all the nitty gritty and all that kind of stuff.
We're here at Me Cafe chilling on a Sunday night.
A good decent show, nice.
Yeah,
we're having some good conversations going,
and usually this is like half the crowd. Usually it's double, but the holiday and the rain, I feel like.
I think a lot of people have also decided to get out of the city a bit as well. You know, a lot of people have been working a lot. You know, it's been that time of the year. You know, where everyone, month after month, people have been putting in the hours, trying to make the dollar. You know, and so I think everyone's deserved a nice long weekend, a good break, take your family to Monet, or, spend some family time, or as me, I get an opportunity to see an old friend that I haven't seen in a long time. We often message each other, we often chat and talk about music and that, but we haven't had an opportunity to actually
dude, it's been 4 or 5 years, man.
Yeah, it's been a while. We bump into each other here and there, but like you say, everyone's always got things to do. You got.
Yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, we're here in Vietnam. We're here in Saigon, and we're having fun at this. We started a podcast. There's a cafe here that has meetings every week for students or people just to come practice languages. And it's pretty cool, man. What's up, bro? What's going on,
Good
man?
Day.
Hey, dude, Wally's there. You can practice Spanish with Wally.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just speaking of her.
Cool. We're just doing a little introduction right now. So also this podcast is not exactly like, I'm not really trying to get famous. I'm not trying to make money on this podcast. For me, it's just fun. We have fun making it. We're at the cafe. We're actually outside. So this whole setup, it's not ideal. Your typical podcast is in a silent room with good quality microphones. So we're in public, essentially. So I can't use the condenser microphones that they typically use in podcast. The sound is not as great, but like I said, we're just having fun. We love doing the podcast, and I like to bring random people, whoever attends the cafe. I like to bring them in here. They've never even considered being a part of a podcast, and I'm like, jump on in. It's totally fun. A lot of people love being a part of the podcast, and I love being a part of it. So for us, it's fun to make. I don't imagine it's really interesting to watch, but I love making it.
Well, I'm excited to be here too. You know what I mean? It is a good thing. It is a fun thing. So
yeah. All right. So let's just get into some music. Let's talk music, man.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So first, I want to ask you, what music do you like, and how long have you been playing music?
All right, so those are difficult questions to start off on because, as music goes, You know, I want to say that, I've been playing music for a long time. It started as a thing with me and my friends. You know, to give some background, I'm honestly am a bit of a metalhead. You know what I mean? You can tell by the tattoos. You know what I mean? We like a little bit of the harder option.
Like what bands? What bands are you talking
Well,
here?
I mean, at that age, when you're a young teenager, where I grew up in South Africa, and that we had we had, of course, Metallica and
Yes.
Nirvana, which everyone knows. Metallica, so you have that metal, that thrash metal, the metal style from Metallica, and then you've got that grunge that you've got from Nirvana. So you got those are like two big headliners, but I mean it goes even more to bands like Slayer, where it gets a little bit heavy, but when you start to learn about the music and stuff like that, you actually see the technicality. I mean, you start looking at the music videos and you start thinking to yourself, damn, how the hell did he play that? You know what I mean? It sounds like and especially then what we'll get into talking about, is how to get those sounds from your guitar. What guitar are you playing? What strings are you playing on? What pedal are you using? Your overdrive, your distortion, things like that. You know what I mean? Okay, and so, how can I say, when I always fell in love with metal, because when I just heard that guitar go, like just that, Metallica starts off and it's like, and then you're like, that's pretty cool, I like that.
It's exciting.
Yeah,
It's exciting, man.
And curious as well. So then, I mean, it just stuck with me. So I just kind of always liked the whole metal thing and that. And then as far as playing guitar goes, like I said, I mean, I also happened to grow up with a lot of talented friends. We all had our own talents in our own ways, but I mean, a lot of things for us to do were to play music. We were youngsters, and we used to get up to trouble, but I mean, better trouble. rather get up to trouble playing heavy metal music that your neighbors are complaining about, than rather going out into the street and doing other crazy stuff. You know what I mean? So the music kind of saved us in a way. Metal kind of kept us safe. Because we'd rather listen to metal than go out and thrash the neighborhood. We'd rather headbang inside and listen to the music. So one aspect of looking at it, so saying that we had talented friends, of course, when you see this guitar, like I said, the first time you hear this guitar going, and you think to yourself, what the hell was that? And
do you remember the first band that you got you into rock and metal?
It would definitely be AC/DC.
Oh, AC/DC.
AC/DC and Iron Maiden.
Oh, Iron Maiden is mine. Iron Maiden is my band.
Iron Maiden, it's just as legendary as Metallica. You know what I mean? Iron Maiden rocked the world, bro. They rocked the music, and their songs are legendary. When you look at the tablature, same as like with Metallica. These are not easy songs to play.
The guitar riffs of Iron Maiden.
They're not easy songs to play. Then they're highly complex, and they've got large structures. You know what I mean? And they sound brilliant. You know what I mean? They're just fun,
and it's fun to play.
They're fun.
It's fun to play.
Fun to listen to as well. Fun to headbang to. You want to get your feet pumping, get your body moving, get your head, head banging. That's where the whole head banging came from, because you're not just bobbing your head to the music. You really want to get into it, so you start, like head banging, get the hair, like we all used to have long hair as kids, and like all this long hair, well, as long as the school would let us grow it, they were always trying to gel it up or tuck it behind our ears so that the principal wouldn't be like, hey, you, cut that long hair, and so and then as I say, we had a lot of talented friends that, we started picking up the old box guitar and a couple of electrics or whatever, and normally used to be a box thing, because we'd get around and we'd all play together. So me not being as musically inclined as some of my more talented friends, where they could just, yeah, that's an A, that's an E, that's a C, or there's a G.
You know, I can't do that either.
You know
man.
what I mean?
can't-
Yeah, I was a
can't
little
do
bit
that.
tone deaf, so you know, that's where I kind of learned the rhythm. Where you know, I got guided then by friends saying, okay, this is an A chord or this is a G chord. Play it like this and keep the rhythm with me, and we'll go at it, you know. And if you got a couple of guys playing a G and an A and that, or you know, and you start to harmonize, and we'll talk about all these structures of the rhythm, the harmony, the melody, all of those kind of things that come into effect. So yeah, and
What's up, buddy? What's going on, man?
so yeah, and that's where it all comes from, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's-
yeah.
So
So-
I'm saying, so as long as I've been playing, it was from a teenager and learning what we'd call a South African pastime, as yeah in Vietnam is very popular, is a BBQ, is a barbecue.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. So barbecue, rock music.
Exactly, you know, you get a couple of friends together and you get some drinks, you get some meat, everything, make a fire, and of course, you know, so we all cook meat on the fire, we all have something to eat, we have some drinks and that, but then we like to sit around the fire and play these songs together. So especially when you got 4, 5, 6 friends, we all got the old box guitar, and we all say, okay, let's play songs. So then that's when that metal also got into a lot of guys from the 50s. You're talking like Johnny Cash, cowboy music, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Because we said we play cowboy songs, you know, these are all your open A's, your open C's, your open G's, and strumming, it's that, you know, sometimes I got sick of playing those songs because bloody playing a G forever.
Yeah,
but
that's one thing I really liked about Iron Maiden songs is that I didn't get bored of playing them.
they're complex.
Yes, and it's rhythmic and it's fun and it's changing. It's consistently changing and it's just so fun to play.
So that's a good thing to talk about, is the structure.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So you look at different bands, you have Metallica, as we all know, James Hetfield, yeah! You know,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
got the yeah, and like you say, you've always got your intro, you've got your first verse with the bridge, then going into your second verse to your second bridge, and normally your second bridge will lead into Kirk doing an extreme solo.
Yeah,
and then
well,
you'd have
I consider it verse chorus.
yeah, well, yeah,
And
you know,
then-
they
and the
kinda-
bridge, yeah.
And then there would be, you know, because they had that kind of pattern, you know what I mean? And so, as he said with Iron Maiden, they had their same kind of structure. They had that pattern where they would intro, verse, chorus, then bridge, then maybe either lead or short lead into another verse, or etc. You know what I mean? Like each band had their own little recipe, which made it
Yeah. I actually like thrash.
thrash metal.
I really like thrash. I like my music fast.
Fast and loud.
Yes, fast and loud. Yeah, so I really like the first few albums, and
Good Pantera, you know, that's
Well,
also, I'm
Pantera
a
was
big,
awesome,
big
yeah,
Pantera fan. I mean, Metallica colonized the thrash, or how can I say, colonized the thrash
Yeah,
industry.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, so many bands took it to another level as a band. We talk
and
about-
punk rock. I was into punk rock as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I really liked punk music, but I love music with good guitar melodies.
Yeah,
And
that was
Metallica's
a-
got loads of good melodies, man.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
like, let's see if you know. I want to give you some. Let's see if you know. You know this one?
How can you not?
Hold on, listen.
Searching,
Yes, yes.
seek and
Okay.
destroy.
Yeah,
I,
I
actually
like-
almost wore that shirt tonight, but I
Ooh.
thought I'd represent my tattoo guys.
Yes,
but
I love
yeah, I
that
was
one,
actually
man.
almost gonna wear Metallica "Seek and Destroy" shirt. But what a fun
Yeah.
song to play. I wish I could actually play it, but
Yeah, that was one of my first melodies I learned. I can't really play it that well on the
Yeah,
keyboard.
but that's what I said. The hammer-ons on it, and
Yeah.
that, you know, and that brings you back to that cowboy style. You know, you bring in those hammer-ons. sticking to a theme and you're playing over that theme. You've got that chord, that, you know what I mean, and then you're sticking to that theme, but of course they bring more complexity to it, which made them why they were such a great band, because they had that ability to bring that complexity that drew fans in, they drew people like me and like Bowie over here, like it drew interest, you know what I mean? We're like, man, I like that sound, and you start getting curious about it. You know?
And one thing I love about Metallica particularly is that they were thrash, they were going fast, they were going loud, and then they broke down.
Yeah.
But the melodies that they broke down into were so melodic. It was captivating emotionally.
You could almost call it a love song. Emotion was when you hit the nail on the head there when you say emotion. You talk about songs of Unforgiven or Nothing Else Matters.
I'll show you my favorite.
And
you gotta know
they're almost tear jerkers, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's just
I love that, man.
And then, you know, when you combine the creative lyrics that James Hetfield himself would lock himself away from the other band and say, okay, we've got the music, let me write a song for it. And he had his own method, and you know what I mean? There's a whole documentary about how he goes somewhere else. He goes somewhere to pull these words out and connect these words to go with. So when you have this lyrics that go with this music, you know what I mean? They were very powerful lyrics as well. So that was one of the main things.
I've seen Metallica a few times in California, and I've been
lucky.
One of
the
dude,
I haven't. Then there are many. Because that is a rare thing to say.
Yeah. I've seen Slayer as well. California has a big metal scene. Yeah. And there's a big enough audience to attract a lot of these bands.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are from California. Like Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. He bought a house in California.
You got the recording studios out there. I mean, those legendary metal guitar. You know, like where the studios were set up, the amps and everything. It was just for that Pacific thrash metal. So yeah, you had a lot of guys that could produce that kind of music for for people to listen to, you know what I mean, so that they could hear it and hear what's going on.
Yeah, you know, one thing I want to talk about is the mosh pit.
Oh yeah.
The mosh pit, you know, if anybody doesn't know what the mosh pit is, it's that circle where you see in a crowd.
Well, it looks like everyone's having a fight, but they're not.
Like there's big craziness going on. But once you go inside, it's not that crazy. It's actually really awesome, and it's almost like a brotherhood. Yeah. And then there's unwritten rules.
Well, that's what I mean. It was because you know, the mosh pit was something that created out of spawn. It wasn't like a band said, "Hey, you guys, everyone,
start running in circles."
You know, it's something that just spontaneously happened and became a thing over the years, you know. And as you say, I mean, I've in my younger days and going out, like I said, I had friends that became these guitarists that started their own metal bands and started covering metal songs that we loved and doing little gigs in Johannesburg, you know, in South Africa, and going out to little clubs and bars and that and playing, and you'd see these mosh pits happening, and everyone start jumping around in there. But you see, you know, like you said, like a brotherhood. You'd see someone jump around, you'd see him fall down, and then you'd see the guy reach his hand out and pick him up and say, "Hey, brother, like, hey, get back in there," you know, like pick him up and say, "Hey, man, get back," jumping around. And it wasn't, you know, like I said, it looks like a fight, but actually isn't, you know.
Yeah, and that's the rule, man. Anybody falls down, you pick them up, no matter what. You don't run over them, you don't stomp on them, you pick them up. Keep it going.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. Is you got to keep it going. You know what I mean? It's
and I love mosh pits, and for me, I actually consider it like a mosh pit as a kind of therapy. I love it. I think
a lot of guys. I mean, look, we can talk about the evolution of a mosh pit as well, because there's also, I've seen with some of the newer, you know, you're talking like, you know, 2013, 2014 to 2018 bands. I know there was in 2003 to 2010, there were a lot of these, you very heavy metal bands really trying to emphasize evil, you know, like trying to say like we're playing this Satan's music, and so
That's
they had
like Danzig.
yeah, they had like these kind of like mosh pits where they would like punch around and swinging and,
Okay, now
and
that I don't like.
Yeah, well, now that's what I'm-
That's
that-
from like hardcore bands.
yeah, well, that's what I said. Now that's the point that I'm trying to look at it is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it was just a stunt. It was something that just like I thought people thought they were cool trying to do it, but they quickly realized that it phased out. Because if you go on YouTube or you try to look it up and you see those videos, you actually just look at it and you're like, these guys look like a bunch of idiots. You know what I mean? It doesn't look anything like a mosh pit. It doesn't.
Well,
It looks.
it's not. They in California, the metal guys there's a different group. There's the metal guys and there's what would they call the hardcore.
Yeah.
And I don't really like that name, but
Well, the harder option, you know.
I don't
the
even
heavier
know.
option.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's always
Yeah,
heavier.
yeah,
but
the heavier
but
option.
they essentially killed the mosh pit because they're just going in there swinging their arms and their legs. And I imagine like maybe for them it's fun for that single individual
Yeah.
who's like in the middle who's flailing his limbs around.
Yeah, that's the correct word. Is flailing. Yeah.
But you know, I don't like it. I mean, I grew up with the mosh pit. I love the mosh pit, and to me, the mosh pit had kind of a group mentality where it was like a mutual respect. Whereas the hardcore mosh pits, I felt like it was more of just release of energy, and sometimes people would get punched and kicked, but it was like accepted. Like you can take a punch.
Yeah, I think that was I was going to hit on that. I was going to hit on that topic where I mean, look, when you jump in a mosh pit, I mean, you're not going to come out without a scratch. You know, that was the whole thing. Is, I mean, it is rough. It is, like I said, it looks like a fight, but you're not out there to hurt each other. You're not, you know what I mean? And if you are going to jump in a mosh pit, you better be tough enough to take it. You know what I mean? So it
Well,
wasn't
I've been
it
in a
wasn't
lot,
the
man.
purpose
No.
of hurting each other. The fact is that, yeah, you could get hurt, but like you said, if you fall down, someone's going to pick you up. Where, like you saying, these guys flailing around or whatever as they're going, it almost looks like the intent to punch someone in the face. It almost looks like the intent to hurt someone.
yeah.
And that, like you said, that takes the fun out of it. That took that killed it. you know?
Yeah, I don't like being a part of that.
Yeah, you know, and that's where I think, like you said, where a lot of people like you and I, we would then step out and then you know, you let that guy then do it by himself, and then see how much fun he has. You know what I mean? Like if no one partakes, and I think that's what happened with it. Like I said, it was a stint and it died out because with these guys flailing their arms around and swinging punches like weird, crazy. I'm sure you guys all seen the memes of it as well, because there's some really hilarious memes about these idiots doing, you know, and you know they have like a what's her name, Miley Cyrus song, and then they backtrack it to all these dudes flailing around,
I
and
have seen those.
you know
I have
those
seen
memes
those.
like just showing, you know, it's a little bit ridiculous, and that's what happened. Is it basically died out as fast as it arose because it wasn't fun. It wasn't. It just defied the point, you know. And
Yeah, and it's not really crowd friendly.
it's not crowd friendly, and yeah, you know, and for a band as well, you know, I've seen a lot of bands where, you know, when you watch the video, I've seen a lot of live performances where something can happen in the stage, and I've seen, you know, the band themselves, because as you can see, they care about their artists. They play the music for you, and you are the ones listening. And I've seen where something's happened in a crowd, epilepsy, someone's having a seizure, and the lead guitarist or the vocalist, whoever saw it, kind of cuts the whole show and just says, "Hey, security, everyone, this guy's got a problem over here. Can we help it out? And then we can get on with the show." You know what I mean? So you can see there's that, you know what I said, there's a lot of misconception when people think of, oh, well, he's metal, he's hardcore, he's this, he must be a bad guy. You know, and you know, kind of, you know, oh, he's full of tattoos, or he's this, how he looks, or the music, you know what I mean? They always say you can't read a book by its cover. When you actually learn that, I mean, a lot of the metal, like we were in the beginning of in our intro and talking about it, is very friend orientated, it's very group orientated, and it's very for the people. So, you know, you want to look after them as they look after you. You know, we got a saying, one hand shakes the other hand. So, you know, it doesn't often happen, but yeah, you have seen that crazy moment where the band kind of says, "Hey, look, like someone looks like they're in trouble over there. Can we have like a security or someone just make sure that that person's okay?" Or you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And
And fights where actual fuzzy where there's some people having an altercation, they're having a fist fight, and the band says, "Hey, cut that out. You know, you're ruining it. You know, like you two guys that are fighting with each other in the stage. You look at everyone around you. You're disturbing them, and you're disturbing us. We're trying to play some music here, and the people are trying to listen to some music, and you guys are having a punch up at each other.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And you're ruining the whole thing.
yeah,
So
some guys get a little too serious, especially in the mosh pit. That can happen if somebody takes a hit a little bit too hard.
well, that's, you know, like I said, as the hardcore image goes, you know, everyone's also to their own personality. So you have to remember, as life, everything is not as simple as it looks. Everything's not as, like you said, you can't always judge a book by its cover. So you never know if the guy is a bad guy. Could be a biker, that thug that robs and steals or whatever, or you could just be a fan like me, you know, wearing a shirt and actually just enjoys the music and it's not actually trying to be a thug or anything, just enjoys the music, you know.
Yeah. But you know, a lot of it is social skills as well. So I've been in mosh pit. You know, sometimes you take a fist or you take an elbow, and then you look at the person, and the reaction that they give you is either apologetic or it's kind of like
Go with the flow.
or they don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah. Go with the flow.
But
like,
usually like usually you get like a nod or like kind of a bow
Yeah, like
to
apology,
show like, hey,
but-
I'm sorry, that was an accident,
yeah,
and
but
then
yeah.
and then it's cool. You took a punch in the face, but it was not intentional,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And it's to me it's the intention that
there's again, you hit the nail on the head again. Like with a lot of topics, you're hitting the nail on the head. Like I said, with these guys flailing, it's like their intention is to hurt somebody.
exactly
And
yeah.
So that is a key word, is the intention. We're not the mosh pit, like you said. Yeah, I mean, it's a mosh pit. You're not going to come out without a scratch. You know what I mean? And, we're not playing Ring Around the Roses there. You know, all holding hands and jumping around in
Yeah.
a circle.
I feel pretty comfortable.
But
in
like
the
you
mosh
said,
pit.
there is it's an mutual, it's an unspoken rule. Like you said, their intention is to release energy, get some frustrations out and do it together. You know.
Yeah, another unwritten rule is if somebody's shoe falls off, which has happened to me. You go around the mosh pit holding the shoe up high so that they can see, right?
You're like, here's your shoe, bro.
Yeah, if you and this happened to me actually. And
I've actually, funny you mentioned, I've seen a shoe thrown because the guy's like, hey, that's my shoe. So the guy said, well, hey, I'll just like football toss it at you, you know.
Yeah.
You just see the shoe fly across the mosh pit and the dark guy catching it and putting it back on. And and me watching that from the, it's kind of like one of those slow-mo, like everything's happening and then the slow-mo, which wasn't actually a shoe, it was like a boot, like a
shit.
Converse, what do you call those?
the high tops,
The high top
Okay.
Converse,
okay.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and you just see this shoe flying across and the dude catching it and putting and kind of giving like the fingers back up, saying, "Hey, thanks, dude," and
Okay,
go back
that's
again. I
awesome.
appreciate it, and let's get back in the mosh pit,
That's awesome. I had one bad story though. So I lost my shoe in the mosh pit, and I don't know, maybe someone didn't know the rules, but somebody, I think, threw it on stage. but here's what's funny, right here. I was with my friends, and it was a metal show, and I had just gotten out of the mosh pit, and I told my friend, I had one shoe on. I have one shoe and one sock. You can see one of my socks, and I saw my shoe on the ground on the other side of the mosh pit, and I told my friend, I'm going back in for my shoe, man. I'm going
through it, bro. Guys.
So I went back into the mosh pit, and I did a half circle on the other side, and I jumped back out, and I started looking on the ground, and my shoe was gone. And I didn't see my shoe by the time I got to the other side, and the whole night I never found my shoe.
I thought they did the rounds with you.
No, the whole night. And I kept looking around. I was hanging around the mosh pit, and my thinking was somebody threw it on stage. Maybe that's the only thought that they had. But I went home that night, with one shoe. I was drunk with my friends, and I'm walking with my friends, and they're laughing their ass off because I'm walking with one shoe and one sock. But I didn't want to get my sock dirty, so I was literally one bare foot.
Yeah,
one
you gotta
shoe,
choose.
man.
You choose
Yes.
the lesser of two evils there. Yeah, I can imagine the stage crew, you know, busy sweeping up the stage. Depending on the band, it would probably be like all these bras and then like one shoe.
Yes, and then the other shoe, yeah. And it was
empty beer cans, a couple of bras, and a loose shoe.
Yes, and that was good times, man.
It was funny you say that. When I was about 18, I went to a heavy metal festival, which was called Lucky Fish. So not a very big festival as South African festivals go. As you know, that it's as people like all different kinds of genres, and of course mainstream becomes the most popular. So you'll have more people listening to mainstream, and then you'll have smaller followings. And like the metal following, it was pretty mainstream in South Africa, but not the major mainstream. So when I say it was a big festival, but I mean not huge, but it was pretty big. It was a big festival, and I remember like day 3, and me being extremely hungover that day 3, and that, well, you know, obviously not being the only one. Like everyone kind of looks like shit because we got 3 days of metal. You know what I mean? we all been having it, and yeah, I saw a dude walking around with 2 different shoes. So you know, you immediately put 2 you know, it's called quantum entanglement.
I like that.
I already knew that he had lost his shoe but found another shoe, put it on. So you know for a fact, quantum entanglement, that there's another guy that's also got 2 different shoes, because they both lost their shoe and they both found each other's shoe. Well, there could be a third guy or a fourth guy involved, but the fact is that, hey, they found another shoe, put it on, and there they went.
I would have preferred that. I would have preferred having 2 different shoes.
Yeah, well, they were finding another one.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Actually, that would have been a better story, and I would wear those 2 different shoes.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You
Yeah,
know, that's my for you got your shoe story.
Yes.
That's my shoe
That's
story.
awesome. I would totally do that.
Yeah.
I would never do it intentionally, but if it happened to me, I would rock it. I would totally do that.
Well, yeah, that was another thing with depending on what kind of metal dude you wore or what kind of style. Like you said, you like your punk, you got your grunge, you got your thrash, you got your the heavier, the harder stuff. So, you know, a lot of guys wear a lot of different things, but we tend to wear a lot of boots. You know what I mean? And they'd be the old Doc Marten boots. It was the old metal, because there's Doc Marten in itself, the brand. Actually, the shoe encompasses music itself. So if you actually go onto like a Doc Marten website and that, you'll see that, you know, they're enculturing the punk culture. You know, the English punk. Those guys with the really extreme leather and chains and the mohawks and that would wear, you know, like these black boots up. But then you'd have reggae guys wearing the same Doc Martens, and you'd have blues and, you know, all different kinds of music genres. There was a genre, I think it was called, if I'm correct, ska or scat.
Ooh, ska, dude. I know ska.
The old English, you know what I mean?
We have ska in California.
Yeah, you know, so, you know, that shoe encompassed all these metal genres and that, well, all these music genres. And like I said, as a metalhead, it was a comfortable shoe. It was a practical shoe. Because, like you said, you know, it's not going to come off in a mosh pit. It's laced up, like it's a boot that's pretty laced up onto your foot. You know what I mean? And then it had that practicality. So yeah, whether, well, you know, like it was a little bit different when we wear sneakers or you're wearing boots. You know what I mean? It was that kind
I
of
like
thing.
ska, dude. I actually really enjoyed ska. In California, we had the Aquabats, which was a pretty cool ska band, and I think No Doubt started as a ska band.
No, that's I was trying to think of a you know, like a ska band, and No Doubt really is probably the more famous of.
They started ska, but then they transitioned, I think, kind of into pop rock.
Yeah, the mainstream. It was more with the band breaking up because the lead singer. Then, you know, I can imagine that situation when you're a band and you have a producer or an agency that comes and says, "Hey, well, I really like your stuff. We're gonna sign you on," and the band's like, "Yeah," and then the producer's like, "Well, not the whole band, actually just the singer. We just want her, really.
Yeah.
And
They do that. They do it often, man.
And
do it
they've
often.
actually got a song about it. You know that what's it? Memories or something. You know, I'm choosing my best friend.
Ah.
You know, a little bit of
yeah.
a sad song. You know.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm choosing my best friend, or you know, like you like stuck. Like, do I want to become famous? Which she did. Gwen Stefani, she became extremely famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As the band did not, because she chose the fame over.
Well, the band had a good few years.
Yeah, they had a good run. Yeah,
before
they had their good
before she
run. Yeah,
took
but that's
off.
what I mean,
Yeah.
and that's. I mean, that's. I think they'd faced that situation before, where that song had come from. I think that's why they wrote that song.
Well, actually, the song came from her breakup with the guitar player.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. And I knew it also with the agent. There was a lot of stories. As I said, it was a band that I knew. I did like it, but it wasn't too much of a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
I
They're
I
from
preferred
California.
something a little bit
so-
heavier. so-
yeah, so we knew about them because they were kind of local.
yeah.
But yeah,
I suppose when you're SoCal, you know what I mean.
Yeah, we had a lot. We had Red Hot Chili Peppers. We got Offspring.
Oh, peppers are. I got a good story actually about meeting the lead singer
Ooh.
of Chili Peppers. I used to live in a building.
Anthony Kiedis, right?
This is actually just before I decided to move to Vietnam. I was living in Johannesburg in a very farty area called the Maboneng Precinct, and it was a living space, yet designed for artists of every kind: musicians, theme performers, painters, this, that, sculptor. You know what I mean? All kinds of arts. It
That
was an art.
sounds
It was a
awesome.
whole thing. And if you guys look at the history of it to that time, I can't remember the year exactly. It should be about 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. That the Red Hot Chili Peppers came to perform live and to do a concert in
Ooh.
South Africa. And so me in the morning coming down, so in this building, you know, and they obviously like, yeah, in Vietnam and that, you come, there's like often a coffee shop at the bottom of the building, or when you come out the elevator, there'd be a coffee shop part of the building or in or whatever like that. And kind of saw like a bit of a crowd and a hubbub or whatever, but me paying no attention to anything, as like I said, I always just live in my own world. And in South Africa, you kind of, it's a crime country. You kind of had to like kind of just mind your own business, kind of do your own thing, yet still being mindful.
So actually, I want to ask you about that. So a lot of people say South Africa is like, a lot of crime there. But it's hard for a foreigner to understand like what extent. Like, is that exaggerated?
No, look, it's a difficult topic to talk about. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, I mean, because you don't want to make it sound too bad, but you also want to give you want to give the depth of the reality of actually that. I mean,
So it's not
it's
fake.
got, it's
It
got
is- it
such
is
a
real.
high unemployment rate that the saying crime does pay, and that's even from a little street thug that'll come and knife you in the throat for your cheap phone. And trust me, man, I got some scars on my
So
I got scars on my chest from.
So it's not uncommon.
Yeah, you kind of do you gotta be mindful. But I suppose as a South African, like I said, it's hard to talk about it, especially I think
Okay,
for South
gotcha.
Africans themselves. When you're in the bubble, it's just normal day life.
Mm-hmm.
But then I come to a place like Vietnam where, I can leave my phone on the table, or you know what I mean, or
I
like,
gotcha.
I go into a cafe and actually accidentally forgot it, and then be like, oh damn, my phone, and you like quickly run back, like 2 minutes later or 5 minutes later. I mean, it hasn't been pocketed. You get the staff or someone there would be like, hey, like it would been handed in, or it'd probably still be sitting there. You know what I mean? Like these kind of aspects. So it's a very extreme between the two.
Okay. So,
So-
I want to ask you about coming to Vietnam. So when you came to Vietnam, did you know there was a metal scene here?
I had no idea, and I went to go watch. This was a couple of years ago now, 4 years ago. There was in District 2, they did a documentary these guys put together a documentary, and so they did the screening of this documentary, and I happened to find out about it, and I was like, well, hell yeah, I'm gonna
It's
go.
the big dude with long hair, right?
I mean, I can't remember everything, and I tried to meet a couple of guys in there. But the thing is, what I did notice about that, like I said, because obviously I did notice that there wasn't a metal scene in an obvious metal scene in Vietnam. You know what I mean? And then when I did learn of it, I learned that it was. Screamo. I don't know what we call this kind of genre of metal.
There's a lot of different genres.
It's almost a death metal.
Yeah, there's death metal,
like,
black metal.
or
there's-
black metal.
Yeah.
Black metal, I think, would be the best way to classify it, because you had a lot of guys doing, the vocal cords of being that. That kind of music. But I mean, yes, there is a lot of technical guitar over it and that, because it's a Swedish thing. It's a as we call Scandinavian black metal. And we also call it death metal. As metalheads go, nobody really likes death metal. Even me as a metalhead, they're like, "What do you think about death metal?" I'm like, can't say I'm a big fan of death metal, but let me say thrash or ska or punk, there we go, all the different other genres, even grunge metal and stuff, speed metal and
speed metal.
Speed metal and thrash, man, I like that. But death metal, I think it's got a very small following. But back to the topic though, what you said, the black metal, black metal is the best way to classify it. Like I said, a lot of guys, it is some weird lyrics, and it is a style in its own. So watching the documentary about these guys, that they actually got someone to film them, and them making music and kind of gave me a new insight into it. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, I can't remember too much about it. It's a couple of years back, 3-4 years ago, so I can't give that much detail about the documentary. Hell, I can't even remember exactly what the name of that documentary was called. I'm sure if I took a little bit of time to go look it up again, just do a little bit of research, I could find out what that documentary. But what I could say about it, what I do remember is, like I said, going out to District 2 where they did a screening, and they put up a projector, and I mean, it wasn't a big turnout.
You saw the finished product.
Yeah. I saw that they did the so when they wanted to, how can I say, the premiere?
Yeah, the premiere. Yeah.
The premiere of the documentary, and so I put up the big screen and put up seats and things for everyone to come and sit, and they had a venue, a really nice little venue. You buy some drinks and everything like that, and everyone come in and chill, have a little meet before and everything, and then obviously start the film. It's kind of like going to like a movie night, but it's okay. Let's all.
How was the crowd?
And then, like I said, it wasn't a big turnout. I would say 50 to 80 people.
That's still pretty big. I think to me that's pretty big.
Call it say about an average of 75 people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's pretty cool to me.
So yeah, I mean, in the venue, it wasn't a huge venue. It's more like a kind of, and then they created a relaxed environment, because it's you're gonna chill, you're gonna sit and watch something. So it's like watching a movie. You want a comfortable seat to sit on. They had like bean bags and stuff like that, and stuff where you could kind of like just chill out. You could really like just chill out and watch. But like I said, I remember that, and I remember meeting the guys that put it together, and then obviously other people that came that were interested in metal, and I just gave them my points of view on my metal experience and the kind of metalhead I am, saying like I'm not really that into. I mean, I don't listen, like you said, I listen to more Metallica, Pantera. These guys got a message in there. So I'm not saying that they don't, but it's just the clarity. You know what I mean? When he's singing the words, you can hear the words he's saying.
I'm actually I'm the same for me. I'm not really particular on the screaming and the and from the thing is, for me, like
sorry to cut you off, but I mean, like a good little bit of scream. I remember not so long ago you were writing a song, and putting out like, hey, let's get some lyrics, and and you put the tablature out, and you put the chords, and then you put the BPMs, and during I think this was just at the beginning of the lockdown.
Yeah.
So of course, like me sitting at home, I was like, I got to try that for myself as well, And like I said, putting the chords together, playing it as an open, playing it on box, playing it and then trying to play it at the tempo, and then like you said, putting some lyrics. I think if you remember, I texted you, I messaged you a couple of lyrics that would fit in, and like I said, with a little bit of screamo style. So like you said, when you are clear about what you're saying, but you can be like, oh, I want to tell you something, like
okay.
So you got that. Again, something we can talk about as in the structured music, there you got that tempo. So I want to tell you something, like,
yeah. So
you're
for me, like I would just consider that like hitting a high note.
I
wouldn't
me
consider
too,
like singing the whole song like that.
Someone else could consider it as a screamo, that's why, like, we term the term screamo as a, so like when I texted it to him, I'm like, texted the lyric and then screamo part, like on that, like as the tags. I don't know if you remember how I texted it to you, saying like, well, this was my take on it, and then
I don't remember the screamo.
Well, I said, in screamo voice, like I also can't remember. It was like you said, it's the beginning of the lockdown. It was just a mess around as well. I mean, I really liked the finished, polished product of that.
Yeah, that was fun.
And
for
the
me,
video
you did.
It was great. I absolutely loved it, man. It was great. I really loved listening to it. I like watching your process of playing it in different ways. I got to enjoy it myself because you put the tablature. You said I'm playing the G, I'm playing the A. Well, you're playing. So for me at home, I could also sit and play with it myself. You know what I mean? And hit it up on my guitar and see different styles. Like I said, that's why I was sitting trying to write the lyrics, playing these lyrics, saying like I think I kind of got it to the lockdown where it was like, like, leave me alone. I don't want to be in, just leave me alone. Get me out of this lockdown. I can't stay here anymore.
Okay, I got you. That,
you know what I mean? I'm stuck at home. Get me out of here.
Yeah. So like I like that. Like that's got purpose. When you're stressed, you feel like pent up.
Yeah, you're showing the passion there. Yeah. You're showing the emphasis on that's where I watched the thing recently about the exclamation mark. Using an exclamation in a mark, as I also another hobby of mine is a writer. I do biographies. I write about myself. I write about my experiences. I write about teaching here in Vietnam. I write about people. I write about whatever. I write about breakups. I write about all sorts of stupid things. Don't do that as much as I'd like to, and a lot of unfinished projects. But yeah, it's using that when you get into grammar and using your punctuation, so the exclamation mark was we use it so much now in text, but it's like it can be put as, so if I say to you, are you coming over? And I just say, yeah, period. Or I say, yeah, exclamation mark. Or I say, yeah, 5 exclamation marks. Like, yeah, like, do I seem overexcited? Or if I don't put an exclamation mark, am I kind of like, not really that interested, but I'll do it, you know what I mean? Or, it's like, so like you said, the expression and that's coming into no better way than to express yourself than vocally, So,
but back to the screaming, like I do feel the same. I don't particularly enjoy the bands where they're just screaming. I mean, like the for me and I know a lot of people love it, but for me the reason I don't like it is that there's just too many. There's too many bands with the same style, and
my take on it is it's just too easy.
Well, actually, that's arguable. A lot of people.
Look, the guitar. That is also arguable because I've also seen at like southern, like some big festivals. That guys, they doing their own. What do you call a video?
Vlogging or something.
A vlog.
Okay.
Exactly, a video vlog. You know what I mean? And just going to saying to guys, give me your best metal scream.
Yes, I've seen those videos.
And you see
and nobody
like
can do it.
Who can and who, and you'll actually realize just how hard it is to give a proper
to get one that sounds good. That's why it's
metal scream.
That's why it's kind of arguable, but for me, like, and this happens to me so often. I'm listening to a new band, a new song, and the guitar comes in and it's awesome. I'm like, damn, all right.
Yeah,
Then the
that's
drums
it.
come in, the drums
You
are
have to
pumping. I'm like, dude, this
put
is
in that power
awesome.
behind it.
And then the singer comes in and I'm like,
Oh.
that sucks. That just
Yeah,
that just
oh.
killed it. That completely
Yeah,
killed
you're
it for
like,
me. And
I get you.
that
That's
happens
also
to me
happened.
so often with a lot of songs, man. I'm like really pumped for the first 15
Yeah,
seconds.
you think like, oh, yeah, comes some like killer lyrics, or you
Yeah.
don't even have to have killer
I don't
killer
care about- I
lyrics.
don't care about the
yeah, you just got to
lyrics.
have something that's catchy, sounds good, or whatever.
For me,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
you
just tone and melody.
yeah, and then the guy comes in, it's
And you know the thing is like for me, music is art, and what is art? It's something unique. So like if you're doing something just like another band, to me that's kind of boring unless you're doing it differently. So like, and I'm from California. There's literally hundreds of metal bands.
yeah. I mean, it like you said, it's like California and Seattle were like these breeding grounds. I mean, I think Red Hot Chili Peppers, they got a song about it saying, you know, like everybody in the block gonna hit it big. You know, like everyone in that whole street had a song on the radio. You know.
Yeah. So the thing is, there's so many metal bands that had that screaming, and some of them were unique. There's like 6 Feet Under, where
Yeah,
his voice
yeah.
is just
Well,
so deep.
Yeah.
And then my favorite is Children of Bodom.
Children of Bodom.
Yes, I like them. And then
They had a small. They didn't have the biggest following, but they started to get more popular. I remember also hearing them and thinking, you know, like sitting on it for a couple of days, deciding, do I like it? Don't I like it?
yeah,
Is it
you know,
good? And then it's,
yes, for the vocals, I didn't care for, but I accepted it because the guitar is awesome.
technicality off the chain.
Yes, but particularly the keyboard player. The keyboard player of that band is the craziest keyboarder I've ever seen in rock music. He's
Yeah.
so good, and he matches the solos with the guitar player.
Really like bringing the 80s back in again.
Yes, and Alexi Leho, he was like almost my idol, and rest in peace, man. That guy, he was so freaking good at writing songs, writing melodies, and his performance. I've seen them actually live when they came to California, and I was actually utterly disappointed. It was terrible. It was
the
terrible.
live performance.
Yes, so if
Well, you've got a lot of bands that can record in studio. But
yes,
to
so-
actually perform, because remember, a lot of people also forget, it's called the entertainment industry.
that is right.
You
that
gotta
is right.
entertain.
Well, I do gotta add this though. So the sound was awful, but remember, the whole band, their sound, they have one sound, and it's all manipulated by a sound guy.
There's
That's
sound
not,
engineer.
yeah, that's often not part of the band, and he
He's-
has control. He can
Like you said, normally someone that's contracted or paid for by, you know, by.
Yeah, they're often-
you're paying him to do his job. You know.
well, they're often the house
the
employee.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
he's essentially there to make sure the speakers don't blow up and they don't lose money having to pay for new speakers, you know.
Exactly. Yeah,
So-
some expensive equipment. You know.
Yeah, and it was at the House of Blues, and I was pretty disappointed. But I have to say that my friend was with me, and he told me, hey, listen, I've seen this band multiple times. This is the only time the sound was this bad.
Okay, so you're definitely the guy that's doing his job wasn't.
I think so. That was from my experience. So I don't know how anyone else feels, but my friend told me they have other shows.
I
where
mean,
this-
that is constructive criticism, saying, you know what I mean. It could, like you said, normally the venue itself, it is an employee that's there employed.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
his
it
job
was
to
House
do.
of Blues though. This is a big venue in California, man. And
Okay.
but it was just so much sound. I couldn't even make out the instruments. It wasn't even enjoyable at that point. I'm like, dude, this is not even fun. I mean, I get to see Alexi and I get to see the band.
Yeah.
But
You want to hear what's going on.
It was just a wall of noise, dude.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if you've ever been to Cambodia, but a Cambodian wedding.
I've not been to a Cambodia
Hey,
wedding.
well, it's kind of the same thing. They rent the biggest speakers they can,
Ooh.
and their philosophy is the only way it sounds good is if every knob is turned up full all the way to the top.
Yeah, I
like,
don't
you know what I
like
mean?
that.
So,
I don't
like you
I,
said.
I like my music loud.
That saying of getting hit with a wall of noise and not being able to decipher what's what from that. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
And the saying is me too. You know, I got a saying, you know, like Pantera. when I listen to Pantera, my neighbors also listen to Pantera.
I like that. I like that. I like my music loud, but I like it clear.
Yeah,
I
quality.
like- yeah.
That is also me. I may have a small little setup at home. You know, like, I know you've got your little studio set up at home. I may have a small little setup because that, as we're saying, when I listen, my neighbors are so. Therefore, I don't want to disturb them. I don't want to basically be vulgar or be disruptive. I don't want to get kicked out of my building
or
saying
being disrespectful.
Yeah,
in
or
any
being
way.
disrespectful or whatever. But I still myself want my quality, so I kind of insulate. You know, you look at the sound qualities of the room, and then I've got 2 small monitors, 1 high, 1 low. I've got a small little subwoofer on the ground. You know what I mean?
I
And I'll
love
have
the
my
bass.
mids and that. Yeah,
I love the woofer.
because you got to get that bass. You know, you got to get that, especially when you're listening to metal, especially when you're listening to Metallica. You want that bass, but then you also want those tweeters. You know, you want them coming through, giving nice, clear. You know, because you want to hear that lead, you want to hear those vocals. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I said, so it's not it's not this huge system. They're small little tweeters with a small little sub. You know what I mean? They're enough power for my little studio apartment so that I can rock it out. I can, yeah, you know what I mean? It's loud enough for me that it doesn't have to be loud enough for the people down the road. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
got
Exactly.
you. I got you. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like my shit loud, dude. I don't like to hear my music. I like to feel the music.
Well, look,
man.
this is what I'm saying.
I like the shit
This
loud,
is what I'm
man.
saying. The way I've got it set up is I can turn it up and I can play it nice and loud that it's loud. Yet, you know,
Oh, yeah, I
but I
gotcha,
also
I
learned to
gotcha.
insulate. So I've got an insulator on my door as well, so that it's when I come in and out of my door, I insulate, because I also learned that it's also sometimes I like to record on my guitar because I'd love to invite you over, but I live in a small little apartment building. It's only a 4-floor building, but the stairwell, the way it's an accidental what do you call it, the design of the building, but it has incredible acoustics.
Ooh.
So this
okay.
is where I learned that it's quite easy for someone on the 2nd floor making a noise. You could be on the 3rd floor and hear it through the stairwell
Okay.
because of the
okay.
acoustics of the building. So I quickly picked that up, that the sound could travel very easily out my door. So
Okay,
that's where I picked, you know, me being a sound person. So I realized, okay, well, I gotta insulate my door. I need a bit of sound insulation so that I don't have the sound traveling out of my room. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that
yeah,
I
yeah.
can crank
So it
it.
absorbs the sound.
Yeah. So that I can crank it up for myself
I gotcha.
and not for people on the 2nd floor. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
Yeah. Hey, Dale, let's move on to the music section.
Let's do that. I think we've had a good chat.
Yeah, dude, that was actually really good, man.
There are a couple of topics though that before, as we move in, are saying like the structure, the keys that we're playing in.
Yeah.
A's, B's.
I
Let's
just
get
need
to
to
that.
run to the restroom real quick. So
I'm on your 6, so.
here,
So-
hold it for like a good minute, and then.
I think what I'll do is I'll do a little sound check.
There you go. Set it up.
Yeah. So I'll do a little sound check there.
I'll be right back, man.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, so actually, yeah, we'll see. So everyone, what do you call it? Kid home alone, bro. Parents have left me all to myself over here. So let's just what's happening. Let's get a little bit of a sound check. We did do a sound check, but. I just got to get the mic a little bit. It is a directional mic, so we just got to make sure that that's. That sounds alright.
Alright.
Yeah,
Alright.
getting that directional.
There you go.
And, like I said, I'm behind you there.
Yeah. I'll take it over
swing
for.
those around over there. I'm like, kid left at home. I'm like, hey, parents, you know, home alone. Let's hit it out. But I'm hoping that we can show like you said. Now that we're getting to the music part of it, is to take what I want, what I kind of want us to do is to show how you can take a song like Wild Thing. Okay, it's played with 3 chords with an A that's played over. It's played over itself. So it starts on an A. It's a D. It's an E minor. No, sorry, not an E minor. It's an A, a D, an E, and then it's back to the A. So the A is over the A, and then you'd restart over again. So essentially, it's a 4 chord. But it's played in the open as the old thing of the wow.
There you go. You want to sing it?
Wow, man. Just to get the so you know, like that's playing it, and of course, you know, you could pick it as the. But I want to show us how we take it to, you know, we're talking a lot about metal and rock and that, so now showing how, I mean, that was a rock and roll classic at the time. I mean, when that song, especially being called Wild Thing, you know what I mean? That was like, oh, this is some heavy music, you know what I mean? That's right. And I want to show how we can, by using the knowledge of music, knowing that you're playing
one of the problems right now though is the audio is not really working for the guitar and the voice.
I'm trying to point down at it. Just as long as you hear my echo, because I'm basically want to get to.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to get to so that we're playing that A, but now we're taking it to a metal. I want us to metalize it, basically punk it up a bit. So the A.
There you go. Okay. Let's go.
To the E. So it's. Excuse me for a minute, but there's the concept. How do you say? There's the seed. The seed has been planted. Let's grow. just getting a drink there.
Oh.
When you read the Charles, why is can you play it?
Yeah, so what you got here is you got your
Oh, I messed up.
C, A minor, E minor, back to C, A minor, C, A minor, E minor, G. So you've got the song, it's a C,
I saw you in the crowded shore.
There you go.
You look so happy when I'm not with you.
okay, so it's a little bit faster, it's a,
You look so happy when I'm not with you. I saw you dancing in the crowded room. You look so happy when I'm not with you.
Okay, so that happy's on the G. So it's a little bit faster than what I'm playing. So you got it's a quick C to A minor. And then sorry, I lost it. But that's what I say. You just gotta. That's why it's good to write down, or like you say, you can have on your phone and then take a look there.
Save your tears.
Can you sing it?
Yeah.
Sing it.
I saw you dancing in the crowded room. You look so
Hold on, Dale. Give me a second. Go ahead.
I saw you dancing.
Go ahead. Go
But
ahead.
lower tone.
Lower tone.
Yeah, I can because it's for girl and I can sing.
You mean
it with
higher?
lower tone.
Higher.
Yeah.
You mean higher? So it's you're singing high. Don't
I
worry.
saw you dancing in the crowded room. You look so happy when I'm not with you. But then you saw me catch you by surprise. A single teardrop falling from your eyes. I don't know why.
Yeah, the rhythm's supposed to be 120. Oh, I know that song.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah. Sing the
wicked.
chorus. Sing the chorus. There's chorus. What do you do singing right here?
What's the
Or the refrain. Go for it.
C, A minor, E. So it's the same. I don't know why.
I don't know why I run away. I'm a you cry when I run away.
Sing better than I do,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know that song. It seems kind of weird though, the timing of the chords.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's like a quick change, and then it slows down to like a the E the E minor G like is a drop. It's a
Oh yeah, I will open this for you guys.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
thank you.
So that's way slower. It's like. Na, 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 na.
I saw you dancing in the crowded room.
There you go.
You look so happy when I'm not with you. Then you saw me catch you by surprise. A single teardrop falling from your eyes.
That's what you showed was way different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's better. Can you show me the chords again?
Okay.
C A minor
C.
E minor G.
Okay, try it again.
Okay. I saw you dancing in the crowded room. You look so happy when I'm not with you. But then you saw me catch you by surprise. A single teardrop falling from your eyes.
Okay. Sorry, I messed it up.
It's a weird rhythm there. Right?
It's actually normal. It's just a little bit weird because we didn't know the song that well. So like, you see? Yeah.
But then you saw me catch you by surprise. A single teardrop falling from your eyes.
Okay.
I don't know why I run away.
Okay. So that's good. What the problem is that you're not letting enough pause. So you're going too fast for the guitars. We don't have the drums. This is exactly what we're doing, right?
That's where the
Well,
drums
we can do it.
kick
We can
in.
do it.
Yeah,
So can you do it? Play those chords, but I'll play the drums.
All right. Are you gonna?
We'll try. Let's see.
All right. Let's get the tempo.
It should be about 120. It's at 118.
120. Okay.
Is that fast?
That's about 180 maybe, but a 110.
I have my metronome here.
That's one thing that I need to get myself is a metronome. Also, another guitarist actually taught me a trick. He said with their band, instead of using a strobe metronome,
Ooh.
you know, so because for the whole band, in order to not listen to the metronome the whole time. If you had just a strobe light sitting in the corner, strobing the rhythm, it helps for people to visually see
I really like that idea.
it's not a bad
That's
idea.
a really cool idea.
Yeah, is that
But
can
if you have a drummer, you don't need a metronome.
But this is something I need to learn, is to play with the metronomes for practicing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, especially when we were talking about the song that you did, and
What is this?
this is to keep the rhythm,
Oh, interesting.
So it's like
like a drum.
There we go.
Dancing in the crowded room. You look so happy when I'm not with you. When I hear you song, a single tear falling from your eyes.
Okay, let's try again. That was better though. We're getting the timing down. Okay, try it here.
Maybe lower tone?
No, keep that tone. You're singing to the.
No, because I want the lower tone.
So if we go lower, we can do
I saw you dancing in the crowded room. You look so happy when I'm not with you. But then you saw me catch you by surprise. A single
Hold on,
teardrop falling from your eyes. I saw you dancing in the crowded room. You look so happy when I'm not with you. But you saw me catch you by surprise. A single teardrop falling from your eyes.
1, 2.
I don't know why I run away. I'll make you cry when I run away.
There you go. Okay. Okay, that's better. But like rhythm is very important.
Yeah.
The timing, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty good, man.
It's something I struggle with as well. Is timing and rhythm. It's especially when playing together. It's nice to be able to follow. That's why you have a drummer and a bassist. Because
That's exactly why we have
the
drummers,
drummer
yeah.
is the heart of the band. He's helping everyone stay
Together,
together.
really.
Everyone's together.
Yeah. So it's interesting because I could be far away from the other guitar player. Let me talk about this, right? I could be far away from the other guitar player, and I can't hear the other guitar sometimes, but I can hear the drum. I'm playing at the same exact time as the drum, and the other guy,
I'm doing the same
he can't hear me either, but everyone can hear the drummer. So everyone, even though we can't hear each other sometimes, we all play at exactly the same time because we're all playing with the drummer, and you can always hear the drums.
So it's really important.
The rhythm is important, yeah.
And they say that's also why the drums are so loud, because like it says, normally when you're playing like that, you'd have something called a monitor. Meaning, so I need to be able to hear what I'm playing, but I also need to hear the drums. So I have a monitor, so what I'm playing is played back at me, and I can hear the drums as well. So like it says, I don't need to hear the other guitarist in that. I need to hear what I'm doing, and I need to hear what the drummer's doing, and same for the other guitar. He needs to hear himself, and he needs to, and then that's how it all comes together. So that we, like you says, then that's when then you're creating the melody. When the harmony, when you get the rhythm plus the rhythm plus melody equals harmony. Isn't that right? Did I say that right? Melody plus rhythm plus melody equals harmony.
Yeah. I
So-
can see that. Harmony is just music together, different sounds working together.
Yeah.
So let's try something. Let's play something. Let's get some music going.
All right, shall we try that?
This place died out.
So it was me. So yeah, that's what happened, bro. I started playing. I started playing some heavy metal, and everyone started playing some rock and roll, and everyone was like, "Oh, man!" And then before a mosh pit got going, they're like, "Let's get out of here before the mosh pit hits."
Yeah, we might need to cut soon too.
So we're trying
It's
that.
not too noisy. noise. Not enough loud outside.
There you go.
Just gotta get my rhythm
You
right
got it,
because
you got
it's
it.
wow, man.
Wow, dang.
Sorry.
It's all good, it's all good.
Hey, you're stuck. That's sometimes where I lose it, you know what I mean?
I like using the percussion on the guitar. I came out with this little rhythm
I've
here.
been practicing that kind of, when you say like the percussion, the
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hey,
So,
good-
so,
good little
so
station
one,
there.
one, one thing That was awesome. So can you show me the chords real quick?
That was what we were playing.
Okay, okay.
The
So-
song that.
One thing that's really cool to kind of break up and add a little dynamic is when you're strumming, right? You can do the same tempo and then kind of like pauses.
Yeah, I try to do the what's it called?
I got you. Yeah, yeah. But it adds a little dynamic.
What's it called?
The palm muting?
Yeah, not palm muting, but basically palm muting. But then also when you just kind of.
Oh, I don't know. There you go. Yeah, yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Kind of change up the rhythm a little bit.
Yeah, like you said, you kind of just like mute the string.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, without palm muting, but
But that was dope though. I like that. That was cool, man.
a little. It's from an old Afrikaans song that I
Yeah,
always
yeah.
play around with. So there's different. You know, playing that percussive. Have you ever heard the song Neon by what's that guy's name? John Mayer.
Oh, I know John Mayer. Yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
he's a guitar genius. He really does play. So he plays the song Neon, but it's, I mean, where you even use your thumb up, but it's that rhythmic.
Love it.
So he plays a rhythmic slap. I can't remember exactly the chord that he plays. So it's something like. He says it's a John. I don't know it. It's a
Yeah,
John.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can you play Lemon Tree?
Huh?
It's really fun.
Lemon tree.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I saw a man play with a small the guitar, but it's very
A
small.
ukulele, the ukulele,
It's
yeah.
really fun.
Yeah, I don't
Play
usually,
something like-
yeah. So I came out with this song a long time ago because I wanted to incorporate some drums, and I used to write songs for a rap group in California.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is I was trying to incorporate some hip hop styles. So I wrote this. It's, so I had.
I love the way you're hitting on the back.
Yeah.
You know, it's over there.
It's impressive.
It's over there. I thought it because you know, like normally we'll do a knock.
Yeah,
Or, like I said, we normally like to use the plectrum and we'll.
Yeah.
You can, but that is a whole different other technique.
Yeah, I even wrote like a metal track using that technique.
I'd love to hear that.
I'll just show you the intro.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
I'd love to hear that.
something like that, and then it goes into like a. Ooh. Yeah, and then check this out. So it goes into this. It's,
the punch from that guitar as well as I can even feel the vibration in my guitar. You know what I mean? From like showing how you play, you can. Who says you can't play metal on box? Because this is something that I wanted to actually bring up. As I was saying, we were talking about all my old, the history, how I got into metal, all of that. And the thing is, all my old favorite guys, all the metal band guys, the lead guys, they all seem to have all followed this trend of going back into playing the old box guitar. You got the lead singer of Slipknot. You've got, guys like James Hetfield and that, just doing their own little thing, just playing metal songs on box guitar. Like bringing it back. I mean, Corey Taylor is kind of a front runner at that moment. While of course he has the band.
Love Corey Taylor. And Stone Sour.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone knows him as the band Slipknot. But Stone Sour is another good thing that he's got going on. And then of course he's doing, like I said, then he's doing his own little one man, one guitar thing.
Man.
Cheers, man. Thanks for bringing those chords for us, man. They were great. The song,
Hey, next time we'll get you singing on the song.
Yeah, that was good singing. Great.
Stone Sour actually became before Slipknot.
Well, that was the thing is, the misconception exactly of that the band broke or whatever. But it's still just been a thing. You know what I mean? It's like wouldn't want to call it a side project, because I remember, if you remember, like we talked earlier about Pantera. I mean, Dimebag Darrell, one of the most legendary guitarists, got shot on stage while performing live because an angry fan thought that the band had broken up and that he was betraying the band. Remember the whole story behind that? And he got shot. Like someone had a gun, that smuggled a gun into the show, and jumped up on the stage and shot him on the stage. And, that's the story of Dimebag Darrell, one of the most legendary guitarists, and that's Pantera.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Just because the fan thought that the band was breaking up, or that he broke up the band and that, and forgetting the fact that people can do a whole bunch of things, you know what I mean? You can't just, you know what I mean? I think it is in this world, especially in this day and age, you do market yourself, don't you?
We got to start wrapping up, man.
You market yourself as a product. Yeah, I get you. It's been a great session. It's been really fun. It's been.
I totally forgot to change the.
Well, that's what I said. We could, because we should have actually got to some more guitar playing than guitar speaking, but it was really great.
That was good, man. That was pretty good. Last thing on your comment about the old guitar is that I love this thing because it's so easy. You can take it everywhere you go. You don't gotta plug it in. You literally just grab it and start playing.
I call it a kick around. You know what I mean? Is that a semi-acoustic or just an acoustic?
No,
I see you've got a pickup.
Yeah, this originally is a pure acoustic, but
I see you have a pickup put in at the.
Yeah, it was installed. Yeah, and dude, this guitar actually has a very cool story. That maybe I'll give it for another time, but
it's got a great sound.
Well,
like I said, even you just doing that little metal version. I mean, the highs and the lows that come, the bass they came. I mean, I could feel the vibration in my guitar. Yeah, of you just really hitting that one out. You know what I mean?
This thing is 1972, man.
Yeah, now you're talking. You know what I mean? Like the old. Like you said, getting that slap there. Sounds great, man. It's got a great sound to it.
I really like it. Yeah, dude. All right, guys. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling, and I hope you enjoyed some of the music. When I was playing that last song, I can hear. There you go. Rep that.
I gotta represent it.
I can hear the microphone peaking when I was playing the heavy guitar.
Yeah, like I said, I could feel the I could feel the vibrations on my strings. You know what I mean? But that just shows you. I mean, like you said, that guitar's got it's got some great sound to it. You know?
Yeah. What's funny is I have a lot of metalhead friends back in California. And I wrote that song for them actually because I wanted, to give them a heavy song. But
some flavor.
Yeah, and I'm always rocking the acoustic, so I wanted to show them something on acoustic that would even they would even like And you know what's funny is that song is the one song that can cut my finger, dude.
But yeah, well, yeah, that's where you say normally we
Yeah,
got the good old pick of destiny right over there. There's the old pick of destiny. Like I
Yeah.
said, there is another one that obviously we have as a guitarist. I'm not much of a fingerer, as you say, but so I've got a ton of these. Actually, this is I think this is so quite a common. They make terrible strings.
Oh, that's
yeah,
a huge one, dude.
yeah. It's
That looks like a bass pick.
It's not. It's actually pretty soft. This one is a 0.7. I've got a 0.45, and I mean a bass pick would be a 1 point something, a 1.2 or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just it is the unusual shape because it's this this triangular shape that I'd never seen before, and actually then got quite actually used to playing. Actually, quite started liking this triangular shape as we. Teardrop, the teardrop is the most common, and I used to play with a Dunlop back in South Africa. It was a favorite plectrum that I'd always buy. Was a Dunlop. It's called a shark fin because it kind of resembled the shark fin.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It kind of
got
looked
that.
like a shark fin. But this
We gotta wrap it up.
this product though, Alice. They make terrible strings, but they make great plectrums though. Their plectrums are really smooth. They're really nice. Their strings
Okay.
are crap though.
Okay, guys,
All right,
we're gonna
guys,
get
it's
out of here. This
been-
place is closing up. It's been good, man. You want to say any last thoughts?
Well, not really any last thoughts. Just thank you. Like you said, let's do it again. We'll hit some more topics. As you see, we've only got a time parameter, and when it comes to music, man, there's so much to talk about. So many different genres, so many stuff. And I thought, you know, I mean, you can even get into how bringing English speaking, bringing Vietnamese into how incorporating English into there as it's a K-pop thing to do. You know, a lot of Vietnamese love K-pop, and it's a K-pop thing is to use your own language, but to throw in a little bit of English in there. So yeah, man. Well. Last thought is my last say is basically just thank yous and goodbye. Thanks, man. It's
dude. Thanks for coming
it's
by,
been-
dude.
It's been a good, cool session. Nice to see what's going on, yeah, man. Really cool. Thank you very
Alright,
much.
guys. Yeah, we'll try to start earlier next time so we get more time. But until next time, guys, stay safe, stay happy, enjoy life.
Thank you.
Peace out.